Hello and welcome all to the CLV. This is week 6 of 8, and we are off to Korea. Big spenders this week. We've got Suwasid spending 4, Julo, Corvid down in HRT struggling in 17th and 18th position in the drivers. 6YDG also spending 4, Priya spending 3, and Miku spending 3. 48 laps into qualifying we go, with Applamazing leading the driver's stats by 2 points over Pappy. And here they go. At the beginning, it looks like Suwasid and 6YDG out to a good start. Julo also there, and Corvid a little bit further back, and the HRT desperately need a big finish this week to avoid the elimination. They are in dead last. Tour Racing passed them last week, even though Miku's in dead last. Floyd McLovin Jr. is in 12th with 21 points. Corvid and Not That Guy sit with 12 and 11 respectively. Up at the top, Pappy and Vlad Richard not spending any tokens. They will not be looking to progress or preserve their lead, although maybe snagging a point down in the top 10 or something like that, just as a bonus with no tokens spent. What we're really looking for right now is 6YDG to pump himself up the standings and put Polish Orlin into the lead, possibly. Talento Rojo looking fairly good here, with Danimator in 3rd and Kamikaze in 5th in the driver standings. They are right there biting at the heels in 2nd place as well. Rich Energy in 4th, 11 back of Polish Orlin, 10 points behind Talento Rojo, who is 13 back of Pappy Pops. Suwasid on the inters, a little bit faster than YDG maybe on the wets. Did he grab the pole? Drum roll. But it was Suwasid with a 26.78. Julo lining up on the top 2 in the front of the grid there with him. Corvid in 3rd, 6YDG in 4th, Toad Speed, Miku, and Arya Carmona in 7th. Danimator and Kamikaze, the 2 Talento Rojos in 8th and 9th. Applamazing running out your top 10. Nomscar for Matessa in 11th, just outside the top 10. Floyd McLovin and Golden Phoenix 12th and 13th. Pappy for Pappy Pops in 14th. Priya, Prolime, the pair of Rich Energies in 15th and 16th. Musa in 17th, Vlad Richard 18th, Rosim and Not That Guy rounding out the back of the grid. And we are going racing in Korea. It is lights out. Going inside is Toad Speed on everyone else lining up behind themselves and into a formation. Miku nudging off Toad early on, up into 5th. Corvid getting around Julo only momentarily. Julo kicks grass and 6YDG Miku get around him. Julo all the way back into 5th place as Suwasid just runs away with a nice lead at the start. Miku grabbing and clinging on to that 4th as Toad Speed hangs on and loses no more than 1 spot. Danimator and Arya Carmona battle back as well. Miku going for the pass on Corvid now into 3rd place, not quite. 6YDG a little bit ahead of the pack, trying to chase down Suwasid now. Miku off the track and Julo ahead of him. Arya Carmona by Danimator and Toad Speed up into 6th position, and Danimator catching a little bit of grass. It's Toad Speed, Floyd McLovin, and Priya rounding out the top 10. Priya about 2 seconds back of the rest of the pack already. Suwasid a half-second gap up on 6YDG to start this race, and we're on the 3rd lap already. Corvid trying to increase his lead over Miku and break away from the rest of the pack as he holds the last podium. Julo on the outside to Danimator as they go into the chicane section of the course, and Suwasid loves all this racing as him and 6YDG just cruise on to a nice easy lead on their mediums, with Corvid on the hards pursuing. Miku dropping back even further as Danimator makes a push in the hards. The very speedy TAR making good on very few tokens, only spending 1 token today. Danimator getting the value deal right now in 7th spot. Toad Speed falling back some more. Floyd McLovin in 9th. looking to catch him. Tor needs precious points. HRT needs precious points. Miku and Floyd McLovin both in the top 10 for Tor Racing right now. That has to look good, and to get them out of last place, second last place, it is 3 points up on the HRT Hurricane Racing team right now. Suwasa being closed in on by 6YDG. He has a slipstream, but he is going to brake too late, and they're going to give it right back. Now, just like it was in Istanbul, the braking zones must be done very carefully here as not to brake too late and catch the grass. And right there is a corner cut that is standard, as you'll see Miku going through it as well, catching the grass, slowing down, but not very poorly, as all three of them, Aria, Carmona, and Julo also making the cut quite nicely, and 4th, 5th, and 6th in a nice battle, about 3.5 seconds behind the top three. A little further back is Toad and Danimator now, working it on the hards. They have to, you know, assume that they're going to be a little bit more ahead of these medium and softs in 6th and 4th of Arya and Miku. But how much will it pay off? The hard strategy over the softs. Starting on the soft to get the boost. Miku didn't get that much of an advantage of it. Of course, their car, not nearly the best on the grid. Swanson now a second ahead of YDG. Corvid really close behind 6YDG as Arya and Toad battle. Toad's right off onto the grass. Danimator's going to catch up to him, and Arya keeps it going. He's got eyes. We've got rain coming. It is clouds to rain. Corvid, 6YDG. Here we go. Who's going to pit first? It is Toad Speed. So the top four. Okay, here we go. The top four stay out. 5th onward, pit for wets. And this is going to hurt Julo. Toad is 8.55 seconds behind right now. We'll see how far ahead Julo ends up once he gets out, as the leaders are now in to pit with Rosim as well, who also stayed out for a lap. An extra lap. Well, I guess maybe just on an extended second half of his lap, almost being lapped himself. Now, it is only a 2.84 second lead. 2-second lead now. Definitely closed the gate a bit. Has Toad on Julo, our top four, but nobody really hurt overall, except the lead was just cut down from our top four. Miku, Danimator, Arya, Carmona is in a battle. This one is for 6th place overall. They're very close on the grid together. Miku, of course, spending the 3 points. Danimator only spending 1 point. And Arya just spending 2 points, as partner Suasid is in 2nd place, spending 4 points. Scuderia Carmona, the other team, back in 8th position. I wouldn't say, in a tie for 7th with Matessa, wouldn't say is at risk of, you know, being relegated or anything, but Julo's putting on a heater here to keep ahead of the pack and remain in that safe zone. Not that guy way off the track, and Rosim as well. Our lap driver is really having a tough time today. Okay, we've got some lap traffic. Kamikaze way back in 16, so big difference between Danimator and Kami, just 1 point in skill token spending, but giving a little bit of trouble to Suasid and Corvid there. Corvid really wanting to make bank and not waste those tokens. HRT has been the most unlucky team with token spendings. 3 different occasions spending tokens and getting 0 points for them, and not just 1 point, up to 3 points. It has been risk sometimes. And they've come up short 3 different occasions. Okay. Miku now ahead of Danimator by just a tiny bit, but Toad Speed finally putting some distance between them for the top 5. Suasid now working behind Namskar. Is Julo's partner going to give him some trouble? 6YDG's in between 2 lap cars for the lead right now. As we see the rest of our 20 drivers, the rain is going to be stopping, so the wets will come off in a few laps. Ooh, Suwasa uses Nomskar as a barrier and gets a little speed boost, not touching the grass. Corvid has to deal with it, on the other hand, and is only in third place still. Was making a bit of a charge, but Julo, now 3 seconds back of Corvid, is battling himself through some really tough traffic. Aria Carmona gets pushed off by Musa as she's trying to pull up on Danimator. Enough with the battling people on your own lap. It's these lap drivers that are really struggling for grip and control on this track more than usual, getting in the way of the drivers trying to pass them. And Corvid experiencing some teamwork here as Julo is now past him and just having a heck of a time. Toadspeed has been able to catch up to the rest of the pack and now has the top 4 within his sights. Miku less than a second behind Toad. Everybody's catching up now. 6YDG just a second and a half up on Suacid, but 4 seconds up on Julo is Suacid. There is some separation, but the 4th through 6th is just charging right at Julo right now. Track, a third wet remaining. There's going to be a couple laps left on these nearly half-worn wets, as Miku just gets blown by as Toad uses his turbo, but Miku conserves. It's interesting that the AI isn't going on that first great big straightaway, the biggest straight of the entire track, not using the turbo sometimes. Interesting to conserve it. Tor's got a lot of it too. Tor has 3 turbos, the most of any team on the grid. Floyd McLovin clinging on to the hopes of a top 10, down in 13th, but right now Golden Phoenix is the one pushing Priya for the last and final spot. Apple Amazing has creeped up into 9th place. What a bonus for him. It would be a great cherry on top of that World's Constructors Pursuit and the World Drivers Lead right now. Pappy's not going to be catching Apple Amazing right now. Danimator is looking to. Danimator will need 9 points to catch Apple Amazing for the lead, however. Currently will not be getting 9 points. Currently will be getting 1, 2, 4, 8 points. So it could be very, very, very close in the driver's stats after this is all said and done. Pappy Pops, however, in 12th place, is just 2 points behind Apple Amazing for the World Drivers Lead as well. Julo now just behind Corvid again. Corvid has returned himself to 3rd place. Danimator behind his teammate Kamikaze, hoping not to get held up too much. As he takes a slipstream, goes inside, uses him as a banking, and goes around the outside, and Kamikaze goes right into the wall. Danimator will get through. Now a similar battle going on here. Musa behind Apple Amazing by a lap, behind 6YDG by a lap, and 6YDG getting held up a bit by his teammate. 23 laps nearly gone here in the Korean J-Prix, and into the back of Vlad Richard. That's going to allow Suasa to get right back. So not only is 6YDG struggling to pass his own teammate, but he's got Vlad Richard right beside Apple Amazing, holding him up into the chicanes and the button hook and the left and right to the final straight. And Suasa is just fractions of a second behind, and he's jockeying for position, going for a pass. He's going inside. He's going inside, and he's almost got the pass done. Now he's going outside, inside, and into the grass. Not this time, but man, a valiant effort and a big stab of a dive bomb almost taken by Suasa. Now battling with his teammate Apple Amazing, finally putting himself to use for 6YDG. Julo now inching closer and closer ahead of Corvid once again. Corvid on, decent lasting softs right now. Just can't seem to close that gap, and Julo keeps getting in his way, passing in and out. Toadspeed fallen back to over 5 seconds back, nursing those hards. Suacid looks to be quite comfortable now in the lead. Must have gotten through, and I wasn't quite looking, but definitely putting some distance and some lap traffic in between himself and YDG. Corvid using Moose as a nice banking to get around these corners. Oh, he just can't seem to put a good set of chicanes there together. It's a very technical part of the track, and Julo is starting to break ahead of him. Once again, a second ahead of the pace now, of second ahead of Corvid's pace now. Sorry. Suwasa trying not to get caught up with this battle for Golden Phoenix, takes him on the outside. 6YDG closes the gap a little bit. Is he going to get lucky again? Yeah, Golden Phoenix off the track, well and out of it. In 9th place right now. Looking just fantastic. So Toad Speed and Phoenix both in the top 10s. That's got to be great news for Toad Racing right now. They are sitting smack dab in the middle of everything. 45 points in 6th place. 44 points off the lead. Miku into 4th as Julo takes a pit. Suwasid still struggling to get over a second of a gap. 6YDG looking to get back into slipstream realm. I mean, both of these drivers are going to have to pit soon, and as you can see, they're really struggling for grip around those corners. Sweeping, banking turns. This Korean track is a very strong test for these drivers, as we're seeing. We'll see this next week in the SLV, and this also comes right back out in line with Musa taking a slipstream off Not That Guy, hopefully getting by him fairly quickly, and using that as some protection between him and 6YDG. As 6YDG's onto the grass, on the other hand, Suwasid sweeps nicely around and uses the cars again as an embankment. Kamikaze catches the wall again. What is wrong? Turn 3 is just not going Kamikaze's way here. Every time he's hitting the wall, down in 16th, and it's not looking much better. He continues to struggle. His teammate Dynamator also down into 8th now. Looking for another fresh set, as those mediums are definitely wearing out. Corvid ahead of Miku just by 1.6 seconds now. Taking another pit stop. Miku will still be needing a pit stop on those hards. Priya looking to get by Toad Speed, but she is a lap behind and out of the points right now. 3 points spent by Priya. This would be devastating for Rich Energy. Their title hopes fading faster by the minute. Just 3 points left. Oh, it's Prolime that spent the tokens. Okay. Oh god, no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong chart. Priya has 3 and Prolime has 1 token spent. And then after that, they only have 1 token for Prolime left. So yes, you can pretty much kiss their title chances goodbye with this one. Pappy Pops, we still don't know what's going to happen. They are ahead, but they're not going to be ahead by much after this race, as Talento Rojo and Polish Orlin is putting some points together here. They're definitely going to take a big chunk out of that lead. The mystery will be, how many points will that single skill token left from Vlad Richard produce in Kyalami, and then as well, of course, the car performance race of Interlagos, where nobody will be spending any points in the finals. Will it be enough for Pappy to hold on, or will there be other better cars prevailing after it's all said and done? Regardless, we've got Julo sitting in intermittent 2nd place after making a big push. Suwasid's down to 4th. Got to assume that's from a tire change. Toad Speed now 15 seconds back. Our top 4 clearly sticking it to the drivers not spending 4 tokens. Miku, the other driver, spending 3 tokens, apart from Priya. He's right there in 5th where he should be. I don't know what is going on with Priya and the Rich Energy. Just Horrible turn of events for to waste 3 tokens right now. Not a single point to show for it thus far. Arya Carmona looking for a little bit better result than 7th with her 2 tokens being spent. Going to get passed by Corvid, who's working his way on Julo right now. Keeping close with Julo the whole race, but Suacid had a little bit of a trip up somewhere. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Is now pursuing Corvid to get back into the podium spot as 6YDG increases his gap with just 1 car in his way right now. Trying to work by him as Julo weaves in and out of the final sector. And there we are. 10 laps to go here in Korea. And the hunt for all positions is still on. Nobody's more than 2 seconds ahead in the top 4. And everybody, apart from the leader, is a half second or less in Suacid right into the back of Corvid. There was contact made. He's looking for that final podium spot. As Julo is losing the gap to Corvid as well. So they're both catching on Julo. 6YDG increases his lead to near 3 seconds now. So it's Julo who's slowing down to Corvid, who is even slower than Suacid. On the grass is Corvid, and Suacid's got the 3rd place back. This is excellent news for SCR. SCR, my God. The excitement. I can't contain myself. Julo peels into the pits as he definitely was slowing. Suacid has a comfortable 2nd position right now. 6YDG, half-worn hards. Suacid, half-worn mediums. Corvid, 1/3 left on his hards. So Julo has pace now, but will he be able to go 8 laps? I don't think so. 8 laps on the softs, that's probably not good for Julo. Corvid is probably going to have to make a stop, as well will 6YDG and Suacid. But Julo may have to make yet another stop after just being on these fresh softs. The wear will be too much. Whatever he catches up in the next couple laps will be extremely jeopardized by the wear that ensues after. Toad Speed getting bumped around and abused, and Arya Carmona is in pursuit of him as well as Julo tries to get by and lap her up to 6th spot, getting lapped. In this race, of course, a little longer race, one of the longest races of the season in terms of lap count. As we cycle through the rest of the grid there. Oh God, big traffic jam here. Golden Phoenix holding on to that final last point in 10th position. Apple Amazing you see behind 6YDG pursuing him for 10th spot back in 11th. And Floyd McLovin Jr. has fallen out for Core as well. That's not good news for teammate Miku as he clings into the top 5 with a 6-second lead over Toad Speed right now. Suacid and Julo battling hard side by side through the last sector. Corvid right there as well. Going to take a pass on Suacid on the softs. So Corvid has gone to the softs. Julo also on the softs. 6YDG still on those worn out hards. It is going to be bad news if 6YDG stays on these hards. He has 6 seconds. He has a pit stop. He did not pit. That means he might not pit at all. Corvid has passed Suacid and Julo. Suacid finally coming in for his pit stop. That's going to send him down to 4th, and maybe with only 3 laps left, too much for him to catch back up. Suacid may be stuck with 4th place. Corvid now pursuing with Julo 5 seconds behind him. 6YDG only 2 seconds back. And oh, he's way off track. 6YDG is way off track. That's going to give Corvid a golden opportunity with 2 laps left to pass him in a whole mess of lap traffic. I can't believe the lap cars that are in the track right now amongst our leaders who are battling. Corvid is by him and 6YDG is on the grass. The hards are worn out. There's no grip left. There's no way he's going to come back from this. Corvid is going to pass nimbly through 6, 7 lapped cars at the same time as YDG and be ahead of him by a clear second by the end of the lap. We're on our last lap, and that means HRT's Corvid is going to cruise to victory, a desperately needed win from Team Hurricane. 6YDG is going to have to settle for second as Julo is even getting closer to him. Suacid uncomfortably, and oh god, just got pushed off by his teammate Arya in 4th and 6th. Not a bad finish from SCR, but Suasa knew he wanted that podium. 6YDG ran off the track. Julo has a chance. Oh god, that was amazing. I thought Julo was going to catch 6YDG as well. Corvid, a brilliant strategy for a brilliant win. 6YDG tried to hang on. It was just too long. He probably would have had a chance if he pitted for those softs with 3 to go, but it was not meant to be. Suasa taking 4th and a clutch Matessa podium as well. These low-lying teams collecting points in 6th, 7th, and 10th positions, respectively, in the top 4. It was a day for the catch-up artists. Congratulations to Hurricane Racing taking 1st place, but to Julo for the fastest lap. In the bottom of the top 10, we have, of course, Arya in 6th, Danimator for Talento Rojo in 7th, Toad Speed in 8th, Priya in 9th for Rich Energy, and Applemazing getting that free point in 10th. Priya eventually did climb back, but that's in a very expensive 9th place finish. Finishing in 11th, Golden Phoenix for Toad Racing, missing out on the point, Floyd McLovin Jr. for Tour Racing in 12th, Pappy in 13th. In 14th place was Nomskar for Auto Racing Matessa. 15th place, Prolime 4 for Rich Energy. 16th is Kamikaze for Talento Rojo. In 17th is Vlad Richard for Pappy Pops. 18th, Rosime for Rick Ware Racing. In 19th is Not That Guy for Hurricane Racing Team, but they don't care. They got the win today. Musa in 20th. A quick look at the driver standings. Applemazing still holding on by 3 points over Pappy Pops, who's just 1 ahead of Danimator now. Julo making a big push into 4th, just 3 points behind him. We're going to have a tight finish down at the bottom. Nomskar now in last after Miku got himself 2 points up, 2 spots up into 18th. And the big leap today was Corvid jumping 11 positions, 6YDG jumping 8, and Suasa jumping 5 positions. Congrats to Corvid and HRT in their first win of the season. That puts them out of last place into 9th, and Pappy Pops just 4 points up on Polish Orlin with 2 races to go. Talento Rojo looking good as well with lots of tokens left to spend. It's going to be 4 for Kamikaze, 1 for Danimator, 3 for Applemazing, and 1 for 6YDG. Just a single point left to spend for Vlad Richard. We will see y'all next week for the Kailami J-Prix.